help us make more videos like the one you just saw, click that button there. And if you want to be among the first person to see all of our new content,
peanut butter jelly time. There you go, there you go. There you go. As you can see, I have so much stuff on my timeline and stuff. Okay.
About the black card, right? No, not the one from Visa or American Express. This one is much more valuable. There are entire organizations that have been built upon it, and individuals that have used it to acquire both wealth and influence. If this sounds like something you might wish to own, you should know that there is... Really. You can be poor, middle class, rich, it doesn't matter. The black card will still confer upon you an entire history of oppression, even if you've never been oppressed. Flash the black card and most white people will cower. Play the black card expertly and you can win an award. You've heard about the black card, right? No, not the one from Visa or American Express. This one is much more valuable. There are entire organizations that have been built upon it, and individuals that have used it to acquire both wealth and influence. If this sounds like something you might wish to own, you should know that there is only one way you can get your hands on it. You have to be born with black skin. That's the only requirement. You can be poor, middle class, rich, it doesn't matter. The black card will still confer upon you an entire history of oppression, even if you've never been oppressed. Flash the black card and most white people will cower. Play the black card expertly and you can win awards, make millions, all the while claiming that the people who got you there somehow hate you. With the black card, you can sell books full of indecipherable prose, because with a card that powerful, who cares if your words make sense? You can call yourself a civil rights leader and shake down multinational corporations, or you can torch your own neighborhood because you didn't like the outcome of a grand jury verdict. Ironically, the people you might think have the most legitimate claim to the black card refuse to use it. Take my grandfather, for instance. He raised me from the time I was 9 years old. Born in 1941 in rural North Carolina, he started working at age 5, laying out tobacco to dry on a sharecropping farm. Jim Crow, separate drinking fountains, and the KKK were ever-present realities. He was 17 when he married my grandmother. He made a living cleaning homes and office buildings until he saved up enough money to open his own cleaning business. The thing is, he never played a card, nor did my grandmother. Problems, they didn't blame anybody, they just fixed them. And they raised me to do the same. Chores are a requirement in their household. So reading the Bible every morning before school. I didn't like the Bible readings and I hated the words, but I realize now that these small acts of discipline, although sometimes stifling, had a strong, positive impact on my character. I was a first college student. This was supposed to be the ticket to prosperity, but it wasn't. I left college with a mountain of debt and no practical skills. I had just $80 in my bank account and very few prospects. I could have given up. I could have dug deep into my history and considered myself a natural product of ancestral oppression. I could have played the black card and absolved myself of all responsibility for my own stupid decisions. Except destroyed my grandfather. I'm proud that he had the fortitude to turn nothing into something, and I have no intention of saying something back into another attitude that they press. Because if you are born going to accept your natural status as a victim, then the validity of your black is immediately questioned. So if accepting responsibility for my behavior somehow disqualifies me from ordinary cause, I don't want one. Their skin to get this my grandfather. If there is one thing that my family history has taught us, that I do not need a black card, imaginary anything to make something of myself. For the record, my grandfather, now retired, lived in a home that he and my grandmother built on a plot of land they purchased in North. The very same sugar as a small child. His story is beautiful because it's American, and that's the only card I've ever been interested in playing. I'm Dennis Owens for Prager University. Thank you for watching this video. To help keep PragerU videos.
Now, we're going to talk about Black Lives Matter and all lives matter. And I just want y'all to know that we're gonna keep it real too, because we want to know if Black Lives Matter, all lives matter.
Blank can get into a car, and then 3 days later she's going to end up dead in jail. The Black Lives Matter movement is making is a very, very legitimate and serious point, and that is that as a nation we have undervalued the lives of black lives, people of color.
We need a new deal for communities of color.
Senator Webb, you may remember he got booed when he actually said that all lives matter, and then later he ended up apologizing. What's this?
Every life matters, and that is why this issue is so important. Black lives matter, white lives matter, all lives matter.
Out of the candidates who answered that question, only former Virginia Senator Jim Webb said all lives matter. Joining us now with reaction, Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clark, CRN, KRLA radio host Elder, and Fox News political analyst Juan. Yeah, Sheriff, I'm having a hard time with this. White lives matter, black lives matter, Asian lives matter, Hispanic lives matter, blue lives matter. What is so controversial about saying all lives matter? And what do you say when somebody...
John, it was a pathetic display of plantation politics in the 20s for the continued enslavement of black people emotionally by the Democrat Party with this destructive liberal ideology, and they know it. They're horrible for votes. They know that's what they're doing. Liberal ideology has been very destructive with the black community for the last 50 or 60 years. Poverty is now stuff. The unemployment is obscene. They have to send their kids to failing public schools, drug addiction, neighborhoods that are crumbling, all under Democrat. They need to get off their knees and stop this stuff and take a real message to the American people, mostly the black community, that what they have done, they deserve an apology from the Democrat Party.
Now remember in Minneapolis, the Black Lives Matter movement were chanting pigs in a blanket, fry 'em like bacon. Remember this?
Pigs in a blanket, like bacon. Pigs in a blanket, like bacon.
Democrats meeting sucking up to this group.
I don't think they're second up, but I will say that it's, to me, pandering when you can't say all lives matter. But the reason for it is purely political. There is a real issue of excessive use of police force in the country. Black Lives Matter has come to respond to that issue. What you get is Democratic politicians. It isn't. I mean, it's just those there's no argument that clearly there's an issue.
there is an
argument. You have Eric Garner, if you go on, but I just want to say, you guys have to become more politically sophisticated. The Democrat would answer that honestly, I guess you can say, Jim, we're not sophisticated like others. Because what they're doing is they're to the black vote.
What's happened to you? You wrote a couple years ago. It was entitled Enough. It was a brilliant book talking about the very same things. I don't know what's happened to you since then. You've gone back over the other side. Maybe
I don't understand why politicians behave as they do. I agree with that. Like, well,
you know something? If one is right now pandering, that is the worst sort. Because if you don't have the courage to say every single solitary life matters, that makes you a political coward. Your reaction?
I didn't think it was a trick question. It's easy to answer. And what's going on, of course, is usual Democratic 101. They can't talk about the black economy. Under this president, in the last 6.5 years, black net worth has declined 20%. The wealth gap between blacks and whites has not been this wide in 25 years. The labor force participation rate, the percentage of blacks who are working hasn't been this low in 40 years. Black home ownership, black equity down. So let's talk about Black Lives Matter. Let's talk about climate change. Let's talk about any damn thing except the assault on the black economy and the assault on the black of these words.
It all started under the Democrats. Is that right, Larry?
I'm talking about the net worth of blacks since Obama's been in office is down 20%. It's down.
Larry, I think the country went through a horrific recession.
Up.
Well, we're going to blow it down.
Black poverty is up under this president. Black net worth is down under this president. Pretty much flatline. The economy has hemorrhaged as a result of minimum wage, doing the very same things that damage the urban economy. To say nothing about borders. What's happened to this president that has made the black economy hemorrhage?
It has been an economic and social disaster under this liberal ideology for people over the last 50 years. And it started with the destruction of the family, the most basic unit of society that has been very successful for the black family. It has been a nightmare.
Well, I couldn't agree more that we've got more attention. My feeling is black families matter. Let's be very clear. I guess the two of you focusing on all these other issues, you know, it plays into the Black Lives Matter argument that anytime you say all lives matter, you're somehow cutting attention to the real police.
What if a group of people said, you know, do white lives matter or all lives matter? Wouldn't that be racist?
No, all lives matter.
No, if the question were, white lives matter or all lives matter, and somebody says white, isn't that racist?
No, you know, you act as there's no context here. There's a context that came out of police action.
A better question to have asked those Democratic candidates last night would have been, do babies lying in the womb matter?
That would have been a good question. Larry, if the question was asked, any other race, would it be considered racism?
Of course it would. And I'll tell you something. Rahm Emanuel, the mayor of Chicago, has just conceded that because of the so-called Ferguson effect, the fact that officers are now pulling back because they're afraid of being police being accused of brutality and being accused of racial profiling, crime has gone up. And the victims are disproportionately black people, the very people that this so-called Black Lives Matter movement claims that they care about.
Yeah, so I think that's why Black Lives Matter actually hurts themselves by not agreeing with you guys and saying all lives matter, bring it together.
Well, if the political candidates
what are we arguing about?
The ideology of victimhood with a list of grievances that do not exist.
Thank you all for being with us.
With a list of grievances that do not exist. That's my guy right there. So, go listen to the Elder real quick.
I thought it was going to be
that shit was dope.
Especially when he made it.
Before how y'all listen to him. You see a bunch of educated black men too. Successful black men. Criminals, gay bangers. You know, So it was good to have a conversation because we don't have this conversation of black family, the mothers and fathers not together, the husband and wife and kids and growing up in our support system. On drugs, adding each other. You got all life. Especially if you idolize your mom and your dad. Because you know sometimes we're gonna get to this Larry Elder.
You remember when President Trump made his infamous descent on the escalator? I thought it was going to be the world's shortest campaign, especially when he made the comments that he made about Mexicans.
Mexico sends people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems. And they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, people.
Wow. I thought it was going to be the world's shortest political campaign. In fact, out of the some odd running, I put Donald Trump at number one. The funny thing happened. The next day, I was in an area of LA called Sun, which is a working class area. They're on business. And I went to a restaurant, Coco, which is very similar to a Denny's. A nice, good breakfast, hash browns, eggs, bacon. He comes to me and he says, "Are you Larry Elder? What are you doing here?" I said, "I'm doing this." He said, you see Trump last night?" I said, "Yeah, I did." He said, "What do you think?" I said, "What did you think?" And for the next 5 minutes, he thought Trump spoke for him. Wait, I said, that's it. A few minutes later, another guy came up, said the same thing. Over the course of the next 45 minutes or so, I would say at least 15 people, some white, a couple of them were Hispanic, one Asian, all said the same thing to me. "Donald speaks for me." I said, "Wow." So that night I went on my radio show and I said, "I've not seen anybody touch regular people like this since Ronald Reagan. This is to win the nomination. He's going to become president of the United States, and people, I have lost my mind." The president, in talking about illegal immigration, also uses the term illegal, as do other members of his administration. Illegal alien, a term almost synonymous with calling somebody the N-word. Here is what the head of a Hispanic journalism organization said about the term illegal alien. Cindy Rodriguez of the National Association of Hispanic Journalists said the term illegal is a pejorative. Quote, "If you can control the words people use, you can frame the issue. That's how propaganda works. Repeat the words continually until it reshapes the way people think." End of quote. Holy George Orwell, are you accusing Chuck Schumer of being pejorative?
When we use phrases like undocumented workers, we convey a message to the American people that their government is not serious to combat illegal immigration.
Now, in the not-too-distant past, Democrats spoke of illegal immigration exactly the same way Trump is. There is an honest, self-described liberal named Peter Reinhart. He writes for The Atlantic. He wrote a piece about how Democrats have lost their way in immigration. He said, in 2006, a liberal columnist wrote that immigrants raised the wages of domestic workers who became immigrants, and that the burden of low-wage immigrants is also pretty clear. His conclusion, we'll need to reduce the flow of low-skilled immigrants. That same year, a Democrat wrote, when I see Mexicans at pro-immigration demonstrations, I sometimes feel a flush of patriotic resentment. When I'm forced to use a translator to communicate with the guy in the car, I feel a certain frustration. The senator to whom he referred was Barack Obama. The columnist to whom he referred was Paul Krugman, the left-wing columnist of the New York Times. What happened? Reinhart writes, a larger explanation is political. Between 2008 and 2015, Democrats became more and more confident that the country's growing Latino population gave the party an electoral edge. To win the presidency, Democrats convinced themselves they didn't need to reassure white people skeptical of immigration so long as they turned out their Latino base. End of quote.
Forest Service diesel clean
plus cetane boost is the injector cleaner endorsement company. Use it every time you fill up to clean your injectors to restore lost power, fuel economy, and lubricate the injection system. Learn more about the injector cleaner endorsement companies at powerservice.com.
There's 60.
1,000 women surrounding them were 100,000.
Women have a in this question their lives. A hunger strike was even at level to make their mark on history. Experts said women would vote.
This was crazy.
American experience.
That was dope. No, for a second, hold on. Check out some going on with the test quick, alright? Just bear with me. Find out what's going on.
Not gonna lie.
Don't worry. When we put our own news something,
Are we on? What's going on? You know? Be right back.
Power on.
that shit will be something. You guys are watching. I'm trying to warm up some food too. I'm hungry, I'm sorry. Let me see something. Let me see my guy Smoking Scan. I don't know if y'all ever seen him, but he's a cool dude. Is he live? He's not even live tonight. Dude has not been at work. What a shame. He has not been at work at all. I'm upset about that. I don't know what they were doing. They're playing some stupefied music. So functified. So yeah. So I'm gonna show y'all what I've been. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show y'all what I've been I don't even. This is in Washington. In a minute.